let me tell you what, folks, this is a great episode. This is must see TV if you have the right perspective. And I want to be sure that I really have an inability here to try to explain why that is. So I really want to make sure that we try to do the show justice. So, in order to see this as the true comedic gold that it is, let's get right to it.
No, 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 no.
I sort of couldn't believe like how absurd all of this really was. I the black and white sort of like retro feel that they were going for. They want pats on the back for this. Um, she looks so unbelievable. She literally looks like a theme park performer in this sequence.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
Like there's nothing real about any of this. This looks so bad.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
I also like the fact that there's a quick line about them going after criminals, but obviously they're all a bunch of white people. They're not the other Indians that are a bigger threat to them.
I'm asking for you to remember that if the world falls apart, trust should not be dulled out easily to anyone, especially white people.
Look how fake. I mean, this looks so much like bad cosplay. And then to have her just standing on this hill, just shooting people out in the open. Like look at she doesn't even this gun with the way she's holding it would just knock her off these rocks. It just everything about this is just so ridiculously stupid. I couldn't believe this was happening. I I really didn't. I really couldn't believe it. So
It's that look. It's that look right there. That look.
we jumped ahead, and it's they take something that I like this guy and his performance, and they keep making it more caricature and generic and uninteresting. He's a good performer. He's gotten done a lot some good work over in the Sheridan verse and other films and things like this. And instead, he's this goofy, weird, grandpa who basically just wants to get with grandma because they're not together anymore. And of course, she's just the withered up, crotchety woman who doesn't really communicate what her grievance with him is. We don't really know. We just know she's not having it. She's just shutting him down. And then she just makes snide remarks at his expense all the time.
I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
You mean shenanigans? No.
And then there's just more of this wasted time talking about how Maya's not there, not been around, and yet we don't really know. Like, we know what happened with Kingpin and plucking her away in the wake of the dad being a criminal and all of that. But them not having any interaction with her for such a long period of time is not really talked about. We just assume it hasn't happened. They talk about it. The lived experience of the characters seems like there's so much more to it than that. All right, so here's our drama queen with her resting witch face.
I'm a princess. Yes, my lord.
And then we cut to, oh, she gets chloroform. That's right. Make sure I don't want to miss anything. The hallucination type stuff showing up, and she gets chloroformed. They come up behind her, and they grab her. Right? She's having all these hallucinations and things like that, of course, because she's, connected to this alien Native American thing that's happening. So that's her hallucinations. We get the woodpecker again, by the way. And next thing you know, she's hanging upside down. Now, I don't know what anyone else is saying, so I'm going to assume I'm not the only one who paused and went, why does she still have the leg? Like, I don't want to pull a Rocket Raccoon here because that's in the MCU or many of the other movies or something that we've seen. Why would you leave her with the leg? Wouldn't that be the best way to incapacitate her? Is just take the whole leg from her? Well, anyway, it doesn't take long for her to wiggle herself down, and you realize that she's basically being held captive by three white trash people who are morons. And they've got Henry tied up in the other. You saw it quickly. Henry's tied up on the other side of the room or something.
It's so dumb, it's brilliant. No! It's just dumb.
You've got frumpy body positivity trailer trash lady. You've got knockoff. There's Henry in the background. This guy who's like the knockoff Boyd Holbrook from Justified. He's the knockoff version of that guy. And then you got Token. She's like the token Stacy White girl. Okay? And again, we just waste time talking about things. We put her in this little room and have these conversations about keeping an eye on her before Bonnie shows up. Now, we don't really know anything about Bonnie other than she's a firefighter and she has like JV girls basketball skills. Coming to find out, she's like 5'2" and pretty frumpy. I'm not sure how she can be a very effective firefighter, but that's what she is. She goes looking, then she makes a call. Oh, wait, no, she's just going to sneak in and she finds Maya. And then we have this absolutely cringy exchange through partial sign language and never getting to like what's going on and why you don't talk to me and all that kind of stuff. This is it. This is the face. I just want to make sure we're clear. It's not as though this is a character that's remotely receptive to us liking her. This is the faces and the body language that we get from people who are like, stay the F away from me. That is all Echo is. That's all she ever does is she has this crazy, skanky stare on her face all the time. That's like, God, please don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I don't want anything to do with you. Okay? Now, here we go with knockoff Boyd and the shenanigans break out. They think they're going to get away. In reality is, they got to, it's all just wasting our time with this so we can get to this guy showing up. So this is the current big bad guy, the guy that worked for Kingpin, and I guess inherited this element of the business, which was where the train exploded. It was, quote, the armory. Now, you have to piece some things together because it's not actually on screen, because we're going to assume the armory is in her hometown. That's why she went back there. There's not multiple armories. There's not a multiple way to target Kingpin's business. This just happens to be the situation, and that's why she had to go back there. Otherwise, it creates the question of why did she even go back to her hometown where all these other people are around and being distractions and all that. Moreover, if the armory is there and she knows it's there, how has she not interacted with any of these other people until now? Right? She sure knows a lot about what's going on with the operation in her hometown, but yet Bonnie and Henry and all the grandparents and everyone, no one else has seen her. All right. So then you get the typical gangster thug, especially the European gangster thug thing, where we just ignore the white guy. We just ignore him. And that gives them plenty of time to talk so she can, Echo can MacGyver up sort of like this. She takes like a roller skate and some zip ties and just she's making a weapon out of this because she's now MacGyver. I don't know.
You serious?
By the way, it makes no sense that she was able to get subdued by these people when she was able to hold her own against Daredevil. I'm just saying. So, anyway, so this is all sort of shaken out. None of the details particularly matter because what you know is it's going to end badly because the white guy won't stop talking. He just will not stop talking. He has to talk himself into death, which is what happens here in the background. Okay, and again, this is the level of mature warning that you're getting. So that mature warning at the beginning is just so they can show a close-up shot of his bloody face. That's it, right? I still think this would qualify as PG-13, but that's just me.
You
Usually you pay double for that kind of action, Cotton.
Oh, by the way, we missed a stupid moment. Let me go back to Fat White Girl. So this fat white girl, when they put her in the other room, throws her foot. Her foot actually broke off of her leg, and she throws her foot, and her foot has a knife hidden in it. So that's how she was able to escape. That's the level of stupidity of the characters. It's Echo is not actually clever or smart in things, other than she can MacGyver up that weapon thing for just because. We have no idea how that's in Assassin School, but it is in this show.
Drop the leg! Drop the leg! And move back to your cell!
Then this is the fight scene in the skating rink. Now, if you thought the choreography with is there a way to turn up brightness on there? You could turn it up on my phone when I watch this, but I don't know how to turn it up. Video settings. Let me see if I can. No? Yeah, I don't know. You could turn the brightness up on your phone, on my phone, and I could see a little bit better. But these shots are so ridiculous. This punch, or lack thereof, yeah, this is the stupidity of her still signing in the middle of violence, and that's the closest thing she gets to a smile is when she actually beats up a white person. All right, so here we go. We have hits him in the belly, and then that, and now she is getting kicked, and then look at that. He didn't even come close to her face. This is a punch in and pull his arm back move, and he is never close to her face. It's so badly done. I want to blame editing and stuff, but I'm also like, it happens like multiple times in multiple shots, right? It just keeps happening. There's like different shots where they're not even in the same. They're not in the same vicinity of hitting each other. Now the actress, I mean, she's terrible at this. I don't know if it's because she's a novice and it's too fast, too slow. I don't know, but it seems like you would have just come up with a different story arc then that would play into her strengths instead of making her look like a fool and not being able to pull off these scenes. And again, she held her own against Daredevil. It's been a while ago. Now she's trained. She's having a hard time with these people. And then just because gunpoint, they've got Henry, and then this is what's happening. And I kid you not, how does she get out of it? You're not going to believe how she gets out of it. Actually, I'm going to tell you, it's a big twist. Well, she did. Well, by the way, she did actually get a couple marks on her face from this fight. She hasn't before, but she does in this scene. Let me get to this scene here of what's actually happening. I want to have audio because I want you to understand. All right, he lets him go. Yeah, it's playing the New York Minute song. It's his ringtone. And then he does the, yeah, but will you just let me? But can you just, will you just let me? No, he got a phone call. Okay. And just lets her go. And then it's like more bad sign language. I don't know. And by the way, look how little she is. So it come to find out that this actress is 5'2". She's a frumpy 5'2", supposed to be firefighter. See how little they care about making things good? It's so stupid. I don't even know how to. I mean, yeah, facial marks at least. Resting witch face. She could care less about his advice. She cares less about anybody, including him. She goes, and this is a bunch of wasted time with the thing that he makes for her foot. And then this was terrible. So this sequence, it's almost like they're at a church or community event. Why do they put subtitles up with the in their language? Why didn't they put subtitles up in English so we can better appreciate the meaning of the song and not just the words of the song? Or I don't know, because it is text that you can come up with, put both up. Just saying. Anyway, so long and short of this is then Kingpin walks out. Bum bum bum. Kingpin's alive, which we knew. She didn't know. She does now know. Um, this show is way more comedy than it is drama or action. The skating scene, which was at least some action, is so badly choreographed it makes the Daredevil scene, look like an Oscar winner. It's this show is a travesty that is now rivaling. So She-Hulk is worse for me because She-Hulk is damaged to the character and the lore. I don't have that much affinity for Echo. She hasn't been around that long. She's kind of an off-putting character in the comic book anyway because that's how they start changing her into this ridiculous version because they own more of that time frame, whereas She-Hulk had this massive legacy for years, and people still to this day try to play it off as though no, she was this way. I'm like, well, first off, Jennifer Walters and She-Hulk are two completely different characters, and the show got them completely mixed up and wrong. This show just is taking anything that was good of Echo, throwing it out of the window, coming up with this whole new version, and she is just an awful character. I don't understand the point of the show. Like we're just telling a villain's backstory and how she hates another villain who's a better villain than her. That's pretty much all that's happening. Terrible show. Terrible show. I'm not letting them off the hook. I'm doing another video next time because we're doing this, but they're going to get 4 or 5 videos. They're not getting like one, oh, this show sucks, let's move on. No, we're going to make this stick. They need it. This needs to be, and listen, I watch it, so you don't have to. Anyway, that's it for me. You guys take care. I am Pops.
Yeah. Right? And I'm not playing